Hello everybody! So I've been working a lot on my lines for the show I'm in since I have to have Act 1 memorized by Saturday. In addition to that, I just visited my old school because they're holding auditions for the semester shows. And visiting my old school got me thinking about what would happen during the productions of those shows. During nearly every production at that school, there would be a post-show discussion after one of the shows. Audience members could ask questions of the actors in the production. And often something that would happen would be one of the other actors in the department who was not in that show would decide to ask, "How did you learn all those lines?" And while sometimes it was a joke question, other times it was actually asked by an audience member who wanted to know. Because really, it is a legitimate question. How do you learn all those lines? When I was stage managing a show in the fall, the main actress asked me if I had any tips for learning lines. It is a genuine concern when you're trying to figure out how to learn a massive amount of lines. And really there is no one answer. Every actor learns lines differently. Like with a lot of the actors I've been working with, they're trying to get off book as soon as possible. So during rehearsals, they've been turning over their script and trying to just fumble through their lines. I personally don't work on learning my lines that way. When I try to learn my lines by trying to not look at the script even when I don't know the words, that tends to create more paraphrasing, and then you memorize the paraphrasing, and then that's a problem. Because generally, playwrights care if you're paraphrasing. And I've been the one taking line notes as an assistant stage manager or a stage manager, so it's really helpful if actors aren't paraphrasing. So for me, in rehearsals as an actor, my process is different than the people I've been working with. Until I know my lines, I am holding my script, I'm looking at those lines. And even when I mostly know my lines, I'm still holding on to my script kind of like a security blanket until the day that is off-book day. Then I drop my script. During those rehearsals, I may not even be looking at the script, but I'll just hold my finger where my line is and then move it down as we go. So then when I need my line, I can just look at my script and then I've got it. It works. So I don't hold the script when it's off-book day or any day after that. At that point, you have to call a line or just work through it. So as far as how I actually memorize lines, it generally helps me to just be working through it with the other people. But of course you have to spend the time outside of rehearsal also working on your lines, otherwise it's not a good idea. In that instance, when I'm trying to learn lines on my own, I will look at the script and say the lines over and over, and then I'll start trying to work through the scene on my own while blocking my lines with a piece of paper to see if I can remember them. I've also heard it said that if you study before you go to sleep, then your brain will process through what you've been working on while you sleep, and that helps, so I try to do that as well. Other actors, when they have a big chunk of dialogue or a monologue, they will start from the end of the monologue and memorize that and then work their way to the top of the monologue. Because that way, as you go through your monologue, you get into more familiar territory instead of, what is going on? I don't know my lines. That sort of feeling, which I know a lot of people have felt that. I'm also a goofball, so sometimes I will just put my script on my head. It doesn't do anything except make me look silly. Other things that have worked for other actors is to write out your lines. I try to carry my script with me wherever I go. So if I have some downtime, I can just flip open to the spot of the script I'm trying to memorize and work on it and then put it away. Really, memorizing just takes time and effort. If you're not putting in the effort or time, then it is a lot harder to memorize your lines. And it's always important to remember that every actor is different, and so my methods are not your methods, and your methods are not my methods, and that's totally fine. And now I'm going to continue working on my lines. Thanks for watching!